let's begin the joint BCI Transportation Committee meetings on Wednesday, October 9th. First thing we're gonna do is have an adoption of the agenda. I shall move. Sure. Mark? Aye. Here's. So I guess we're gonna change the way we did this before. We're going to see if anybody had anything to say about any of these things.
I hear us. I do.
Can you hear us, Mark?
I sure can. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Yeah, no,
good, good.
yeah.
So we have some people, I guess let's do this.
We've Luxembourg here.
Yeah,
So are we doing the joint meeting first?
there's only a joint
It's
meeting.
only a joint meeting.
Oh, okay. Then I think the way that we agreed that we were going to proceed was that we would ask around the table if there were any concerns that anybody had with any of the applications that were forwarded to us, including the one that was forwarded on Monday. Is that how we're going to go for?
I think that sounds good, but we have some people here from the public, so I think we should let them speak first and then we can kind of go from there.
Absolutely, that's great.
How you guys doing? Good. So if you guys can tell us your names and where you're from and.
Yeah,
come up. You can come to us too, you know, and Mike can.
Yeah, if you come up with the owl, find you.
Yeah, I wasn't doing. Yeah, let's say, so I guess it's the same tonight.
Yeah, that owl.
That's the good owl.
Oh, that's a good owl.
That's the bad.
Good owl.
Go ahead, Frank.
Oh, that was good. That'd be like, what was his name? That back into a window. Those are the little owl. That gave us Central Park Services. Flacco.
So
Flacco.
if you guys can tell us your names and where you're from and.
I'm Lynn Wagnick, and I'm one of the owners of Café Luxembourg. I've owned it since 1983.
Wow.
And this is one of my two partners, Steve Abramowitz.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Gina, the architect who made the plans in representation of SWA Architecture. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. So I guess, does anybody have any questions about this application?
No, I thought everything looked great.
It does look amazing.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too. And it's also one of my favorite restaurants. in the
Okay.
neighborhood.
Last time I was there was with you.
I work there.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
So coincidentally, this is the first item on the agenda. So that
Yeah.
works out very well.
Yes.
Mark, do you have anything you want to add?
Mark, it's Steve
Well, I
Wygota.
think-
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Can't hear
Hi,
you.
Oh.
Steve.
Hey, Mark. So Gina we've done 137 sidewalk cafes. This is Gina's first presentation. So. be thankful.
Won't bite.
So
Yeah.
Steve, are you telling us that we wanted to give Gina a hard time?
no,
It's a
But
Haitian dish.
let her meet Andrew and everybody, all the kind people there. And I was gonna send my book that I just published with her, but I'll send it over. So,
Is Steve one of my shop liver?
oh yeah, I forget, I'm sorry.
Just saying.
Oh, good to see you. No, I'm sorry. My son Elliot sends his regards too.
Back to him. Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, Gina, that was easy, right?
very easy. First, lucky, I think.
I guess you should ask, is there anybody on the public that needs to speak that's signed up? Taking that as a no.
No, and I don't see any hands raised or questions in the Q&A either.
Thank you.
Okay,
No.
Oh, but you do have the district manager that showed up.
Yes.
Hey there.
Hey, Max.
Hi.
Our
No,
district manager.
Continue, sorry.
And Mark from Italy. We have.
I have a question. Is the community board supposed to tell the restaurants when these meetings are happening, or is DOT the one that should tell us?
Good
We
work.
do.
Go ahead, Max.
Mexican, yeah.
I was gonna say, we do start notifying people. Jessie's not here. I don't have the exact time from him, but she does copy or BCC someone whose email was originally on the application. Whoever submits it, she sends a notice out to all of them.
Oh,
And Max-
because nobody received the email, and I've been checking the community board's meeting agenda every day, and that's how we knew that we
So
have
you
to.
never
go.
got an email?
Oh, you were not, okay.
But it's possible that the email address that was on the original application isn't what we have on file, because people change it. I'm not suggesting that is the case, but that could be the case.
Yeah, did you change?
I'm on the board.
Are you on the board?
Yeah, and it's also the case that DOT does not actually require the applicant to attend, but we do find that it is very useful for the applicant to attend. Yeah,
And Mark and Steve. So, you know, I've been listening to several boards, Susan Stetzer and CB3. She's not even bothering. There's a lot of frustration with DOT, you know, accessing the DOT website, knowing who's coming in. We've had applications in there for months that we have silence on. So, and there's nothing more that I enjoy is going to the community board meetings. I made a ton of
Okay, so I just wanna chime in. So yes, so basically one of the challenges that we have is that with other applications, we received applicants' information and representative information. With the DOT dining, we don't receive them at all. We just get the applicant's information, and recently they dropped that and they're only giving information from the restaurant. So I might have reached out to the restaurant, probably went to junk mail or something, and we didn't know, but I emailed everyone, all the applicants, letting them know, but based on the information they gave me, which is just a basic email.
But
for the restaurant.
like the old days, CBA, they want you to post, you know, around like the old days when we had DCA, and they want whatever information they want submitted to the community board. And last night, CB3 had an applicant that was submitted by DOT the night before. So there's a lot of mishmash going on.
Unfortunately, they're not giving us enough time. These applications are coming in every Monday.
Yeah.
And you're only getting,
there's a huge number.
you're only getting 35 days. You're not getting the old 45 days, which allows you to take to the full board.
we get 30 for a roadway and 40 for a sidewalk. Yeah.
So I think it just, you know, within a few months span, receiving 3,000 applications, I think they're crushed. So hopefully they are able to better perfect how they notice all of this, but I suspect we'll continue to see some issues like this. And what we've been just telling people, at least from our committee, and anyone can jump in if they feel differently, is that while you're not required under the law to come to the community board meeting, sometimes we have questions based on what's submitted. We need clarity on something. So it is helpful to have the applicant here to do a back and forth. Sometimes you can just answer those questions on the spot. We vote, it's okay. Whereas if the applicant's not here, we have to start guessing. We're not too sure. Things can't be corrected. So maybe it's a best practice for people to show up if they are inclined.
Yeah, and actually in that vein.
Obviously, if they know.
Restaurant to run, we
Yeah.
should call the question.
Yes.
No, wait. Let me, there is a question that I wanted to pose since you're here. And that is that because you're on a side street and there is a city bike station across the roadway from your proposed cafe, is there the required 15-foot emergency vehicle lane, or have you requested that the fire department waive that, which they sometimes do?
Well, this is a sidewalk cafe, right, Gina?
And they have a roadway also, but I spoke with DOT and they told me they contact directly the fire department in case they think it's necessary to have the 15 feet. And they see like they don't have enough space on the road, they will call them directly.
Okay, so you've already covered that base.
DOT covers it.
Are we hearing
Okay.
sidewalk only or sidewalk and roadway tonight?
Both.
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 Yeah, not all of them.
It's on the agenda.
That's where the.
No,
I mean for this applicant.
Except for. They don't
Both.
have roadway.
Yeah, they're both on,
We're
they're both
Yeah,
on the agenda.
it's both, Doug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks.
It's clear by 15 feet.
Okay.
So let's bundle it.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, let's definitely do that.
All those in favor?
I,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the bundling game.
Oh, I see, yeah.
And Mark too.
With the age? I don't know.
Great.
And Gina, now's the time you say thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Well, this was full board, which is, I think.
This does not go for the full.
Oh, that's, I'm so, you're right.
That's
This is
it,
it.
that's why we're
That's right.
here. Thank you so much.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very
Do
much.
you need this one?
Thank you
You
for
want
being such
to keep
great
them or?
restaurant tours.
Yes.
We have it on the, we have it, yeah. Okay, so let's move on to 300 Amsterdam Ave. Does anybody have any comments? I know some.
I think I know something now.
Yeah.
With Miriam.
Are the applicants here?
No.
No.
But
Oh, okay. As of last night, they removed the Roadway Cafe that was there. So I guess they're planning to submit plans.
On the
for a
avenue,
New one?
the one that was,
Yes, the one
Yeah.
that had belonged to West Side Federation.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
but I have a couple other questions. They have an illegal enclosed cafe. Now, yeah, as most of you know, I live in that building.
Yeah.
And when there was a bakery there
Mm.
prior to
Yeah.
them moving in, we insisted that they take down the enclosed cafe. And we did not approve another one, but they put it up during COVID. So that was the first thing. I assume that they're planning to leave it now. And as of last week, they put plastic in all the windows again. So it looks like they're setting up exactly the way they had it last time. And the other thing, and I sent Alex a couple of pictures and Mark has them too. If somebody could show them, maybe Alex could show them, Mark.
Yeah.
'Cause-
I can pull them up.
Yeah, and the other thing is that they have this really annoying A-frame. A-frames are illegal too, but it's right smack in the middle of
Sandwich board.
where you go, if you're going up or down Amsterdam and then turning onto Broadway or vice versa, you have to walk around it. And
It's like a sandwich board?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a advertising thing.
yeah, and the other thing is that, I mean, this has no bearing on the application, obviously, but that sandwich board says this: if you don't like brunch, you're wrong, and that is all it
Right
says.
here.
Yeah, if you love brunch, you're wrong.
Either you love
I think
brunch
it's
or-
a joke. It's being a cutesy.
But it shouldn't be where
But,
it
you
is.
know, if I find it insulting, I'm not.
I know, it says either you love brunch or you're wrong.
I actually wouldn't
So-
take it personally.
Yeah.
I like Target straw very
On
much,
the enclosed,
by the
so
way.
there is no, other than enclosed cafes
There's
that
another-
were licensed prior to the pandemic,
Yeah,
those are grandfathered in. I don't think they were,
no,
Right,
no,
so-
definitely wasn't there.
so they, once they get there, and presuming they get their new license, they will not be approved to be enclosed, so it's kind of this weird gray area where they're still operating under the pandemic era
That's
rules.
until
which is
November
kind of-
first.
Yeah, Alex.
Or,
can you
yeah,
please
or they
show
get
the
But they
other-
delayed the
the
application for the
enclosed
existing
cafe.
enclosed ones, right? They delayed that deadline. It used to be
And here-
Josie.
No, but I'm saying, but it wasn't with Josie's, but.
It wasn't closed when it was
But I'm
Josie's.
saying, but that was gone, and when the bakery.
Yeah, that was,
came in, it was-
my-
that was in
Yeah.
that closed, that was
My
in
building
closed
made them
sidewalk
take-
cafe.
No, what I'm
Yes, I
saying is
remember.
Josie's was,
Yeah.
then it was
they had
removed,
to
but that
take
was
it down.
removed when it was
Then
the
it became the
bakery.
Yeah.
Right.
And they weren't licensed, I think you had to be licensed in
Yeah.
2 consecutive years prior to March 14th of
Yeah.
2020 or something like that.
Yeah.
So they won't have an enclosed sidewalk.
No.
out.
And so this plastic,
Right.
they just put this plastic in at the end of last week, so.
Cool.
I don't think they're planning to remove it, and I don't
Probably,
think we can
definitely.
I think rely on DOT
Yeah.
to do
Well,
enforcement.
once, by the time, when they get presuming they were approved for what they're coming to us tonight, they will no longer be able to do that. That is not.
But they can do it
allowed
until
under-
November
But
first.
they can do it until November 1st or until they are.
Wait. There's, the roadway dining is until November. Sidewalk is 365
No,
days
that's
a
for the
year.
No,
law.
but for
They're
the
gonna have
old
to change
application,
it.
Yeah.
and do whatever you're doing. until-
They're gonna have to change what they have there.
There's no
Okay.
permanent, there's no new permanent enclosed cafe. So that right there will not be allowed under the new program.
As of November
So
1,
you have, that will be there for,
2 weeks.
no,
No,
for
They'll
more.
be there until they are forced to take it down.
Yeah.
Exactly,
That
which
could
they
be-
would probably
We
be
can't
10
tell you to
years
take it
from
down
now.
until November
Oh, when
first.
it comes.
Well, they'll leave it up, it'll leave it up until the fines outweigh
That's
what they
right.
have.
Right, I'm just saying they don't.
Well, I will just say DOT right now.
Sidewalk
would-
cafes don't have to be taken down at all.
No,
No,
but that's
I'm not what I'm
enclosed.
talking about.
But that's not roadway,
Yeah,
right?
of
That,
course, like the sidewalk.
this is right, so This is on 74th Street. This is.
Yeah,
No,
Amsterdam.
This is
on
Amsterdam. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I see. We're looking south. Got it. Got it.
But this is the Amsterdam.
So on that enforcement topic, if it's actually not allowed, when does it actually, does it just like ad infinitum until?
November or 30 days after they are approved.
November 1st.
So it's 30 days after they're approved,
Yeah,
but, but, but,
But what about the
but
enforcement?
who knows how fast they'll send in.
And how about,
Enforcement,
I bet
so
they're
me-
gonna walk around on.
So
November
right now,
2nd.
just so you know what's happening now, because I just got a million, so because we discussed this, so it's more roadway cafes that didn't apply by August 3rd, that are still operating, they're getting a $500 fine, then they're getting a $1,000 fine, and now the city's going out, it's happening all over, and they're demoing. I mean, I've gotten told
That's what I've seen, but things.
the city's coming and demoing.
Maybe that's what happened to us last night.
Probably.
Oh, probably, yeah, maybe, probably.
Walk down
Oh, they-
Amsterdam Avenue and half of the curbside, cafes are.
What I'm saying is, some people thought they were supposed to remove them
Yeah.
themselves by August 3rd. Those that did not got a $500 fine,
But how is,
$1,000
so
fine.
that means
and
that,
then-
I'm sorry, so that means that DOT, because we don't have the applications, but they know the applications have been submitted.
Yes.
And that's what you're suggesting.
Oh, no, yeah, it's definitely, I mean, they're going out all over the place, and, I mean, there's a lot, so.
and they are enforcing it.
Can I ask you a question, so those people, those restaurants that did not apply for a roadway, we know what's happening. They're gonna get a fine followed by and eventually it could be demoed from DOT. Those that did apply, right, have until November, right? But, so what we're saying, there's no reason that DOT would have removed this from them yet, right?
No.
Okay, so you're saying that may what have.
That's a separate.
That's, right, but you were saying that might have been what happened, but it wouldn't. have.
No, the roadway, they also on the road.
I know, but they applied.
No.
Right.
Miriam has this sidewalk
Yeah.
cafe that you see right here, they also had a
That's
roadway.
the,
cafe.
Yes, I know.
Last night,
That was-
roadway
It disappeared.
disappeared.
Right.
So she suspects perhaps DOT went out
may
and
not have
removed it
applied
for
for it.
them. If they,
No, that's not likely.
Why would they have removed it if they applied?
It's right here. We've got the 300 roadway
They
cafes.
applied for
so-
both roadway and sidewalk.
They didn't.
Why would, they wouldn't have a
There's
reason
no
to remove it yet.
application for the road.
That's what I'm
so you're
saying.
saying there's.
It is.
No, so you're saying
It's in
they're in.
the,
No, but there's no.
it's in the agenda.
They're applying for
Yeah,
both.
it's allowed.
Yeah, they're applying for both.
Yeah, it's in the agenda.
All right, anyway.
Yeah,
I didn't, okay.
Can I just ask about the sandwich boards? I mean, we've never discussed this with any other restaurant. It seems a little unfair. Say to one restaurant.
It's
they-
has to be.
Supposed to be everybody.
It's illegal in
Okay,
New
you
York
say we've
City,
never.
yeah.
Yeah, we
discussed it.
have.
It seems like a select.
No.
Can they not be within from the building?
No,
we
because they'd be.
And Andrew, the rule,
What is the
the
rule?
rule is that if it's within the footprint of the cafe, they can do whatever they want with it. But if it's outside the footprint of the cafe, then it can only be within 3 feet of the building wall.
Yeah.
And this is neither.
Yeah, so that's correct. So they can be used within.
Right, I'm
3
saying, I
feet.
just want to make sure.
We're just saying this is in the wrong way.
I know this from having
Right, so,
done the Columbus Avenue bid.
Right.
It has to be up against the exterior of the building and not as an A-frame either, but just
The
a
flat,
flat
yeah.
thing.
You can
Yeah.
blend it against.
That's
but then you
correct.
don't Want to put it in the footprint of your sidewalk cafe. A lot of restaurants used to do that. They would take a little extra. You could kind of see.
sure, it's the same thing like a menu board or like that.
What do we do?
So I put into the draft resolution, just as an operational note, but not as a condition of approval, that they need to change their behavior about the sandwich board. Now, we could make it a condition of approval if you wanted, but I didn't think that's where the committee would want to go, the joint committees would want to go. So,
No, I wouldn't want to do that, but if they don't
know where you-
comply, then I'll let you know down the line.
Okay.
yeah, so, I'm sorry. Let me just read it to you if I may.
Mhm.
What I wrote says operational change needed in its current operation. The applicant frequently places sandwich boards advertising the establishment on the sidewalk outside the footprint of the existing Sidewalk Cafe. Such use of the sidewalk is inconsistent with the Dining Out NYC regulations and must cease under the new program. I put that under pedestrian flow.
That's good.
Yeah, right here.
Thank you.
So an approval would be providing that the sandwich board is removed from the public right of
What
way.
about the?
I'm okay
No,
with
I didn't make it, I didn't make it a condition. I made it a straight approval.
uh,
But you could, if you guys wanted to, we could do that, but I didn't initially recommend that.
I think, personally, I think it's good that it's noted, but it's not necessarily conditional, but it's, we're on record for saying that.
And look, we're gonna approve it, and they're gonna do whatever they want anyway, and if they get a fine, that's just the
That's
way,
right.
it's the way it is.
Well, if we disapproved it now,
If we disapprove it,
Hearing.
here, still go in, the DOT's gonna approve it, so.
And then it's a
We
hearing.
could trigger a hearing over the fact that.
Has anyone, I mean, has any of you gone there and just asked, has anyone spoken to them and said, because I suspect it's like the manager or
You
someone
can't
in the
speak to
board.
them. My building had a,
mm,
they were very, very nasty to us for a year, and they did a lot of very illegal things too.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
They got
Yeah.
they got nicer afterwards, and I went there finally, and it's very good. You know,
if I understand the owner owns the wine store in the front and in the back, same landlord,
No,
no, that's
has this been
wrong.
changed?
no, never
Are
was.
you
Oh,
paying you?
the landlord, yes, the landlord is the same, but.
Yeah,
the
you
guy
don't
who
say
owns it
landlord. but
But
that's the
died.
same.
by the way,
I
just
think his wife still owns
in
it.
case you didn't know, Robert Durst used to own it. The
I know
deceased
that very well,
convicted Robert Durst used to be the owner.
yeah.
Tell them the next time you go in and eat.
Yeah.
It's not coming in there.
Okay, so what are we doing?
Yes,
Yes.
Michelle.
Jam.
Call the
Question.
question,
Oh,
guys.
question.
I thought we did this.
No, we
All
have.
in favor?
Who's counting?
Who's counting?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay.
Seven.
Great.
And we bundled this or?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
So 7020.
And we're approving it even though we never saw drawings for the roadside cafe. We don't even know if they, they had no
Drawings.
drawings.
They were, right? Mark,
Yeah, yes, there were. And if you let me share my screen, I'll try to bring them up.
For the new one or that old one that they have?
it would have to be the new one.
Jesse, can he
What
share
happened?
screen?
Didn't appear.
Well, yeah, unless they, that's true. unless they-
Well, you didn't see, so why wouldn't if they have them, why wouldn't they have produced them?
Shoot.
No, I think they did.
We did.
Mark is gonna.
Yeah,
share
well,
the
there's
screen.
pictures on the
Yeah.
application.
Give me
There's
one
no
second,
drawing.
it's coming up. Here we go.
I thought these were them. No?
I don't think so. Oh, yeah,
Here it comes.
sorry.
Oh, they did, yes, so one.
There it is. Yeah, they've got they've got the protected bike lane and they have the pedestrian refuge with a planter here. And so they have one row of seating there that fits within the the parking protected lane and does not encroach upon the buffer.
Okay, thank you, sorry, yeah.
Anyone else?
They didn't come to the meeting?
No, most of them.
Most of them are not going to.
All right, moving on.
Moving on to highlight.
Highlight 477 Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I have one question about that. Are you allowed to have your cafe extend past the building line?
No,
This one does.
Yes.
He knows that he's gonna.
And
take
the
it
hours
down.
are not.
the old one did maybe, but
But the plan that
Which
he-
one?
No, he's got an enclosed, he's
Talking about
got an
highlight or
enclosed,
you- or
he's got an
Miriam?
enclosed,
Highlight.
Oh,
he's got an enclosed sidewalk cafe on 83rd Street, and that's legal and that's done. That's
That's-
grandfathered.
Nobody's
Well,
talking about that.
yeah.
No, I'm talking about the cafe.
Yeah, the outdoor cafe.
It goes
he's
too
taking
far.
it down.
South.
Is he taking it down?
Yeah.
It's on the corner.
And the hours
new
are not.
rules will not allow.
Yeah,
them to
new
go
rules do
beyond
not
the
allow you to go use like a chase, what was called adjacent space, so you can't use like the storefront
You know,
Next to it.
we talked about, I was there the other night and we were talking about it.
But
Yes, they went.
point of clarification, the enclosed cafes that are grandfathered.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, eventually will be, I think DOT delayed, right, in the application
Yeah,
process,
yeah.
so they will be coming back, they will, but I think there's a delay because they're.
Okay, so you said it there for 20 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so on that one?
He's taking that, but I didn't see, because this came in so late, I did not see the outdoor unenclosed sidewalk cafe in front of it. Does he have it, is it extending beyond that, or is it?
Not in the
Wait to the-
application,
Not in the
Well-
application?
or is it?
I didn't see it.
477 Amsterdam?
Yeah,
I don't see it under
477 Amsterdam.
Hang on one second, I'll bring it up.
Got the enclosed on the side street.
Yeah,
the
that's irrelevant, not
unenclosed-
dealing with that at all, and he's not going to do, he's not doing a roadway.
You know, this would be really interesting after all these places are open with their sparkling new exterior things. We're gonna check on them to see who conformed and who.
You know, we used to do that, we used to go
But we're
around
not
and
enforcing
we,
it, so.
I'm telling you, years ago, we used to go around with a tape measure to see.
Not
if-
me.
Yeah,
Heard about
right.
people like
That
you.
was that-
Yeah.
Ian Alterman, remember him?
Well, you,
Right.
okay, here you go.
Sits around.
Yeah, so it doesn't go. I'm going to be-
Okay, so.
Yep, he's got rid of the one on
So
the.
this row of tables. So this row of tables is past the edge of the building, but I guess he's considering that this thing right here,
Yeah, he
which
took
is
that
the
down.
enclosed out, he's treating that as if it were part of the facade.
Oh,
Oh, no, it is.
It
part of
wraps,
the
actually.
facade.
Doesn't it wrap?
That
Yeah.
right there is
Plus, what
the
well-
second, right there is the emergency exit to the restaurant, right there where your thing is. So it does extend to the end of the building.
And
The
the,
building ends here.
yeah.
No, he extends, definitely, because there's tables around,
No, he's taking those
oh,
off.
but they're all, okay, yesterday they were, when I walked.
Yeah,
by,
no,
when I
he
saw
knows, he's
you-
taking them down, yeah. So that right there,
So
with
should
marking
we-
your thing, right there, that correlates with the exit to the exit right there, that's the end of the building.
Oh, you're right.
That's the secondary
Yeah, it
exit.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, just, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, this thing is actually the outdoor cafe, isn't it? The enclosed
That's the
outdoor
attic.
cafe?
That is,
Right
but
there is
that's
the
a
exit.
doorway.
Closed
right there
cafe.
is the exit
Yeah.
to the enclosed sidewalk cafe. So it does stick out, you're right, it's sticking beyond the building, but it does correlate, it does conform to the enclosed sidewalk cafe.
Yes, it
Yep.
does.
That's what
You
that's
know,
how I
that is
read it
part of the
too.
Building ostensibly, and that's how he's regarding it, obviously.
He is.
Whether it's right or wrong, that's something else.
Well, DOT's gonna decide that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you just can't
It's so
go
strange.
past the edge of the building.
Well, we're just saying,
We want to know-
if you're on the street in the avenue,
Literally.
there's the.
But he's saying the next building.
That's
This-
the enclosed sidewalk cafe.
Yeah.
Right, here's the enclosed sidewalk cafe, it's coming around, I'm the exit here, this is my enclosed sidewalk cafe, I'm the exit, and he took his unenclosed sidewalk cafe, and he right there to correlate, to
Yeah.
conform with the exit. See,
Right, right.
Exit, I'm walking into my.
I mean, it's strange, it's a weird one.
Huh?
yeah.
It's a weird one.
Not really. It's pretty cut and dry.
It-
The door extends out. This is
It
the way the
does
building is set
definitely
up.
extend down,
Yeah,
and I don't think
100%.
it has anything to do with the emergency exit either.
The
No,
house.
but it's
But
a
yeah.
it's a loophole,
It's
really.
a big- I mean, you know what,
Oh.
I think DOT is.
they're gonna look at it and they're gonna see whether or not that's.
They'll make that decision, I don't think,
You know
I
what,
don't
they
think
have
it's
years
that
to do it,
egregious.
did they ever?
Did he, I'm just trying, he had a sidewalk cafe for like 20-something years.
Yeah, he
before.
did it over
That
20 years ago.
was that approved
We've
under?
had it like
Yep,
that
that was
forever.
approved a long
knows?
time ago.
I mean, he may have shown drawings or something else, who
But
knows?
Mark has shown us that
When I
his
worked there,
hours are not compliant with.
that's the problem, his
Yeah.
hours aren't compliant.
No, he goes
Is
to
it-
1 AM.
So he'll just have
Is it
to,
Michael Kelly?
have to change the hours, so that's the caveat.
Who's on with us? Is that the attorney for this?
Mark's
client?
resolution.
All right, well, we have
says
someone from the public here who has a question.
That's my attorney.
that. Yeah,
Yes. I filed the application for them. I didn't know it was on. I was on for another one.
Can you say your name for us, please?
Michael Kelly.
Thank you.
oh, hi, Michael Kelly.
How are you? I could explain the tables going past the building.
Okay,
Just about last week, DOT wanted us to take them out and we requested that they look at the enclosed cafe, how that juts out. It's out further than these tables are, and they considered it part of the restaurant frontage. That's why the tables are there now.
Sounds right.
Yep.
Thank
So
you.
in the resolution, so if you're seeing the resolution as I proposed it, it would say that it fits within the width of the storefront, including a pre-existing enclosed sidewalk cafe on the West 83rd Street elevation.
Yes,
The hours are not compliant, which is not you, Michael. That's up to Errol.
no, they would be closing by midnight.
Yeah,
Right, but the problem is that in the application, it says till 1 AM on Friday and Saturday. And I imagine it's partly the fault of DOT's application process because I think the applicants think you're asking for what are the hours of the whole operation, not what are the hours of the cafe. They should be more specific in.
Yeah, they can stay open. Yeah, they think they have them. I think they have it for it. Of course they do. Everybody should have. Why would you even say 4? Why just say 4? Because that's what it's saying.
So Michael, if I could, Michael,
Yes.
So what we're proposing to do is to approve with a condition, the condition being that the outdoor cafe conform to the dining out NYC regulations of 12 o'clock. If your client is willing to stipulate to that, then we can approve with conditions and check the box that says that the applicant has agreed to those conditions, and then you don't have to go to a public hearing.
We agreed to that. I don't know where the 1 o'clock came from. Because we basically, we put midnight on all our applications. But yeah, we would agree to that. That's fine.
Good typo, there was supposed to be a 2 after it.
Yeah.
Good.
All right, call the question.
Favor.
You know I was a server in that restaurant from 1979 to 1983. It was a different
I think you're
restaurant.
disqualified.
It's near and dear to my heart.
Everybody, yeah?
Yay. Mark's got his hand up. I guess that's for voting or for? Voting. Yeah.
Okay, so now we're down to,
203 West 103rd.
what is this, 9?
Marlow. No, that's,
No.
no.
Oh, I'm sorry, that's the next one. Excuse me.
This is, I know this is,
Astrocco.
Yeah. Sidewalk Cafe, yeah. Anybody have any questions or comments?
You know, Mark had some comments in his document.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate that cafe is, let me pull it up. It tucks behind a staircase to enter the building. But it's a little bit proud of that.
203 West 103rd.
Yeah, 203 West 103rd.
Oh, you know what the problem with that one was? I'll bring it up. Here we go. Problem with that one is that the cafe blocks the front door to the restaurant.
They blocks the front door to the restaurant. Not making me.
Yeah, take a look. It'll take a second. Here it is. So here's the entrance to the cafe. Here's the entrance to the cafe, and he's got two tables right in front of it. He's got a nice service aisle here. So here's the stairs that enter the residential building. And he comes, a couple of feet past that. He still has the clearance required for a neighborhood connector. But this is the front door to the building. It's a tiny little storefront, and he basically blocks his own entrance. I think he actually does it now. He took the pictures without without his current tables and chairs out there. Yeah, so he's got two tables right here. So you have to walk around. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, is that a fire?
The thing is,
Outdoor is a little less, but it's.
Oh, if you're blocking people getting out.
Yeah.
Blocking the egress.
I don't know how much space, before we figure out how much.
This like the fire street or something.
it's basically the width of a table, because there it is, right?
Yeah.
No.
Now, there's no storefront over here. It's a blank wall. Pretty sure of that. Yeah, there it is. Now, it's not good practice, but it's not, I don't know what you guys want to do. Do you want to make that a condition or?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I would think so too. Mark, I think we have to.
If there's an
Well,
emergency
okay.
doors, it's like.
Yeah. I agree.
That's not to mention,
It's a front-
if one of the servers is coming out with a tray and walks into a table, that's a little difficult too.
Would I be able to jump in?
Yes,
This is also my application.
Oh, okay, great.
What the heck?
Yeah, the way he's been doing it is the people coming into the restaurant will walk along that building line that there's no obstructions and come in. Because he has about 3 feet there.
oh, you know what, it's deceiving because the line looks like it's a barrier.
No, that was just the building line.
Yeah.
So that
Yeah.
that thing is open there, which is how they.
You're just
But that's not, but Michael, that's not conforming. The outdoor cafe has to be enclosed within that 24-inch barriers. So that would be right here.
But the barriers would be on by the stairway. And then come down where the 13 feet 5 inches are. And then also come to where those 2 tables are, but the rest would be open.
I see.
So just basically, instead of walking directly straight into the restaurant, you're walking from east to west and then making a right into the
Yeah.
restaurant.
Yes.
So it's, yeah. It's
they
from the
have-
drawing, sorry, it looks like the opening is where the 14'9" is, but the opening is actually up against the building. That's what you're saying?
Yes.
Right. Makes sense.
Yeah, they 14.
So,
The line you're looking at is just basically the measurement line.
Yep, got it. Makes total sense to me.
Oh.
I remember this application
but he-
from a long time.
Sounds like if they're doing it,
Yeah.
it's working.
This applicant, maybe not different applicant, but the same restaurant, we made the exception also because that stairwell was already obstructing the pedestrian, which was another reason why we permitted it years ago. Because we weren't doing side streets back then.
I don't know, is there anything in the rules about tables being in front of an entrance?
It's not.
yes.
Well, I mean, obviously not right in
It's
front,
not
but like
directly in
within
front,
There's a walkway.
There's a walkway, but the point, but Michael, is that like a walkway behind there? Is there enough clearance there that they can just walk around and get in there?
Yes. And also
And-
for a wheelchair to get through.
Yeah.
This is three
Yeah.
feet there.
Do we know what the fire regs are regarding this? Because, you know, in a residential building, this would not be legal. You know,
I can tell you that on a certificate of occupancy, the outdoor does not count against the indoor because it's
Well,
outdoors. But
I don't see why-
egress is a different story.
yeah.
what I'm just saying is you walk out and you walk to the left.
Yeah.
Directly to the left, there's not much of a difference than just walking out and walking
It's not
straight.
There is not to me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Unless you
suppose
have a lot
there's a
to drink.
shooter in the restaurant, God forbid. And, you know, everybody gets up at once and makes a beeline, and where do they go? They
run out.
slam into those tables. That's what they do.
I mean,
No.
but, well, they just run out and you go to. That's a very.
Why?
I mean, if
That's
there's a-
scary.
They run out, they
And the
grab
door is
some food
hinges
and
on
they
the
go
left,
Yeah.
so
through.
you can, it hinges.
It's a good idea, and.
But the-
My question was if there was just any rule about directly in front of the entrance or exit, if there has to be a certain distance or clearance from any tables.
I would imagine there is. such a
I would-
law.
Are we
You're not
planning on that
you're-
or, I mean, is that within our purview, the fire regs?
Yes.
You don't have, we
Yes.
actually have.
Yeah.
The thing, guys, the thing that concerns me is that there's supposed to be a barrier enclosing the cafe. There's supposed to be a barrier here as well as one
Says there
here.
is.
Yes. Yeah, no,
Yeah,
that's
but
why
if there's a
they-
barrier here, then they walk out and they walk into the barrier.
No,
No,
that's what you're saying, that's why I was
It's
confused
a measurement
at
line,
first
not a
too.
barrier.
That's just the measurement line, that's not the barrier.
I'm not
The
talking
opening
about,
is against- The opening
guys,
is against.
I'm not
the
talking
building.
about, right, but there's supposed to be a barrier
Close to
enclosing the whole thing. It's supposed to be there's supposed to be 2 barriers, one here and one here. The staircase here makes the barrier, so you don't have to do that. But there's supposed to be, now I guess they could have a barrier that's just as wide as these 2 tables and still leave this open.
That's what he
Yes,
said
That's
they're
what
doing.
that area would be left open.
That's what he said it is.
Right, Mike?
Yes, just like any other cafe, there is some part that's open where there is an entrance into the cafe.
There has to be,
Yeah, the
otherwise
area-
how do you get in and out?
Yeah, the area between the
Sleep
wall
over.
and the first of those 2 tables
Right.
is open. And then the rest has a barrier
Right.
going north-south and then
So-
east-west.
There's a barrier right here,
right against this area.
No, he's saying that
No,
there
it's
is
not.
no barrier. That's the open.
But there will be a partition, right?
Partial.
There has to be
It'll like,
eventually.
People can walk right here, and then the area will be there.
They have to fill in the cafe, but the steps are already
Here, so like,
Right.
on the other side, but there has to be eventually.
Yeah, but in other words, there'll be a.
so
partial
this is
area.
this, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So people
Yes,
just walk
yeah,
in
yeah.
like this.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. They are operating it the same way right now, basically where they walk in through the side.
It makes sense to me,
Me too.
whatever that's worth.
Can we call the question?
So should we note that in the resolution that they're gonna leave that open?
It is open.
It's just open.
It's already
partially.
open.
It's open partially. That's what Michael's describing. It's open like, for the first 5.
Well,
there's
a little opening on the
No,
drawing.
that's up to measurement.
No, I think-
I understand, but.
It has nothing to do with
What
it.
is not clear is those black lines
Are not the
are
cafe.
not the barriers.
That's right.
Those black lines are the measurement
Yes.
lines for the purpose
Not
of
the
showing the
barrier.
clearance, not
The
the barrier.
barrier.
I understand.
God.
I thought it's interesting, this drawing, because it's
Done.
separated.
It's not.
It's not separated.
Not separated.
Not separated.
No, I know.
Not separated.
That's why-
Here's
It's not. I
here's,
think it is, but that's not.
Doug,
Yes.
Those are
Check it.
measurement lines.
here's the entrance, no barrier there, and the
Right.
barrier is there to where it's supposed to be. So it's a partial barrier right there. That's it.
The image
I
does not show the barrier.
That's right.
I understand.
All right, so I'll just note that there's a partial barrier on that eastern connection there.
Yeah, I think that's right, Mark, that there's an opening, the entrance and entry and exit opening in the barrier is.
Against the building.
Yeah,
Against the building.
against the building.
Okay, I'll just note that. No condition, just note it, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
We're ready to
Call the
vote?
question?
Call the question.
Voila. You voting?
I did, I already. I mean, I'm,
Well, you-
are you doing
you-
county or? I was gonna-
No, I went to, no, I'm not doing that.
So it's unanimous, right?
Okay, well, it's not. Yeah.
Nine.
Yeah, there
Well,
was
we can-
1-7, no, what were they at? There was 2, I think. And you abstained when you were.
702, what, for highlights? No. Oh, no, actually.
Okay, next is justice, right?
This is kind of a home away from home.
I like it. So we're good, we move it to the next agenda item?
Marlow Bistro.
All right.
Yeah.
Michael, are you on that too?
Nope, I'm done. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, go home.
Josh, I gotta.
Am home.
We'll call it.
Remote work.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, Marlow Bistro, I know that some people had some.
Aw.
Concerns? Oh, because it's the,
I think Mark had some,
it's that whole triangle.
or he had a vote. Am I right, Mark?
No, I'm okay with it. I
Oh.
just wanted to note that, let me just pull it up, I'm sorry. Because it wraps around.
Mark, what time
Beyond
is it?
midnight, it's 6 hours later.
Yeah. No, it's 1 o'clock in the morning. What the heck are you doing up this late?
Civic duty, that's what.
Yeah, right.
Trying to recover from the wine from tonight's dinner.
One of
It
them.
was good one.
I thought it was the delay that was.
No.
slowing.
So actually, the thing that I thought was actually a positive here is that they measured the problem, maybe what Josh is referring to is that 110th Street or Cathedral Parkway is considered a neighborhood connector, and that's ridiculous. The pedestrian program should consider this to be a regional corridor. But they measure the 8 feet from here to here, from the tree pit to the barrier, and then ignore the extra couple of feet over here. So the restaurant did the right thing. They could actually bring this part of it in between the tree pits and in between the curb cut. They could bring this part out to about here if they really wanted to. But I thought that they did a good job by just sticking with one double row of tables And keeping it. So my problem was with DOT, not with this applicant.
Good luck with that.
Well, that's all of our.
Yeah.
So let's call the question.
Yeah, let's do that.
I don't see Elena here.
Any public? Any,
I'm voting.
oh, I remember.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, okay. We got it. I'll send that to,
New business?
Some good news. You want-
Just a question, I'm sorry. Jessie wanted us to fill in a document. Should I do that or is somebody else taking care of that?
What document? What document?
The forms, the DOT.
There's a
forms.
spreadsheet. There's a spreadsheet. Now, the DOT forms, Jessie's already done it. I'm gonna clean up my resolutions and put in the votes, and then she'll just attach them to the DOT forms. That's how we submit. But I think Jessie also wanted a spreadsheet with the votes, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
I'll take care of that if nobody else is going to. Okay,
Great.
all right, I've got that. Okay.
Spreadsheet? I can fill it in.
No worries, I got it.
Thank you, Mark.
Now new business.
No, buonasera.
I'm excited about it. You know,
Oh, yeah, yeah. No, so it's good. So today the governor signed a bill that expands the eligibility of temporary liquor licenses. As you probably recall, the state liquor authority has been very backlogged in processing new liquor licenses. It's still taking 8+ months to get a liquor license.
Right.
A lot of small businesses just don't have the operating capital to keep paying rent and sitting there month after month and paying people to basically not work. So 2 years ago, you may recall, the state enacted a law that for the first time allowed the state liquor authority to issue temporary liquor licenses while the permanent license is pending. So after it goes to the community board and that initial review, and the SLA is still doing kind of the administrative processing, they can issue it. So the temporary liquor license could be issued, in about 4 months, 3-4 months compared to 8+ months. It was taking almost a year.
but only previously, yeah.
But there are certain limitations on the locations that were eligible for it.
Oh, exactly. Right.
One of the limitations was that,
They're abusing that.
one of them was the premise had to be, licensed had a liquor license within the past 2 years. So what happened was there was a lot of restaurants that shut down, at the beginning of the pandemic. They were just sitting there vacant.
Right.
That people weren't eligible to get a temporary liquor license because it had been shut for more than 2 years. Or you had new construction. There are like absurd examples like Moynihan Train Hall, new development, their food is a part of it. The bars, you couldn't get a temporary liquor license because it wasn't licensed previously, or a place that was converted into a restaurant didn't have a liquor license. So anyways, the new law gets rid of that 2-year look back period to have been licensed. And now basically any premise, whether it had a liquor license previously or not, is eligible for a temporary liquor license. It's really important. And just know it doesn't determine whether or not a person would have ended up getting the liquor license. These places would eventually get the liquor license, but they had to sit around for 8+ months waiting, which was just bad.
Which is bad business for them.
And Andrew, correct me if I'm, but the limitations on the temporary now are midnight only and no.
Yeah,
no-
that's
no
all.
music.
So there's some of the other limitations that remain are, even if the community board, approves the permanent license for, 4 AM, whatever it is, on a temporary, you can only operate and serve alcohol until midnight, can't have live music, and you can't have DJs. So there are still certain operational limitations. And just to
Like a
note,
probationary period?
Kind of.
no, that was just in a political negotiation to get the bill passed. Just so you know, prior to 2 years ago, New York City couldn't have temporary liquor licenses at all. You could get them anywhere else in the state, but the city was, discriminated against.
So it's a realization that having to wait 8 or 9 months to get your liquor license is ridiculous.
It is, and it's really, and the reality is like, in theory, you shouldn't even need to have a temporary liquor license because the agency would be able to timely process everything, but for various reasons, staffing, there's backlog. The SLA is working really hard to try to get rid of the backlog, so hopefully at some point in the future, you won't even need a temporary liquor license, but it's now been a multi-year.
I mean, it's like shooting themselves in the foot. If you don't have a temporary license and you can't operate, you know, that's also revenue that goes to the city. I mean, it was crazy.
Losing.
Sales revenue,
Yeah.
tax revenue,
People
payroll,
don't-
jobs.
People have hired people, they're trying to book parties and everything, and, you know, they can, it throws everything in flux, so you're sitting, waiting this, you know, long amount. And like I said, it goes after the community board, after the.
So does this mean there'll be more drunk drivers?
No.
No, the PA
We're
got rid
gonna
of
be
all.
serving responsibly.
Good.
Yeah.
By the way, we're getting another.
But those limitations are lifted the second it goes from temporary to permanent. And
Yeah, well, then you get
assuming that we've
whatever, then
approved,
whatever is the approved method of
I think that's lifted,
operation on the liquor
Yeah.
license, you know, you get it. And obviously, a temporary can be revoked at any time if there is any problems or issues, but, you know.
And this is in effect now.
Effect immediately, as
Oh,
of
that's
this
great.
morning when the governor
That's
signed
great.
it.
Good news.
So,
It's amazing in my field, when we're negotiating for the free rent and the contingencies. It
Yeah.
is just so problematic for both landlords and tenants, and it's
Yeah.
cost, I'm sure, hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. For the whole city. It's really good news.
Mazel tov.
Anything else?
Nope.
Meeting is adjourned.